For the people that don't know, Juneteenth just officially became a federal holiday. And to be honest with you guys, to share my thoughts as a black man in America, it feels bittersweet. For the people that don't know exactly what Juneteenth is, it is the celebration of the abolishment of slavery, which happened over 100 years ago in 1885. You can already kind of see the bittersweetness right there because it took over 100 years for it to be an official holiday. But at the same time, I can look at it this way. Niggas is officially off the forbidden list. What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, king of games here. And today we're going to be doing something really special. I noticed that there is a lot of forbidden list talk in the community and I kind of want to jump in. Not only do I want to jump in, I know you guys love tier list, so let's make another one. I noticed within the Yu-Gi-Oh community, there are tons of people putting their prediction list out. Don't worry guys, we'll get to our prediction list very, very soon, but I thought it would be really cool to put a spin on it to actually make a tier list based on what cards may be banned. That's right guys, in this video we will be making a tier list on the potential of these certain cards being banned and then explaining to you why in a more practical way instead of saying this is my prediction and this is, you know, what I hope to happen. So of course, if you want to see more videos like this, then be sure to destroy that subscribe button, but also be sure to hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Oh, looks like you didn't get in the way this time, Mike, because, it wouldn't have been in the way. Now that we have all of that out of the way, I actually constructed our tier list based on some of the most popular cards that players want banned. Also, it's based on some cards that the OCG may have hit. We have 4 different categories this time, ranging from why isn't this card banned? Pretty self-explanatory. These are the cards that they're probably going to get banned sooner or later, all the way down to it's a you problem, which means that you're complaining about a Yu-Gi-Oh card that won't see the ban list. At least for right now, the odds of it being hit on this upcoming forbidden list is extremely low. I think we're actually cool to start off with a little bit of spice. Nadir Servant is a card that a lot of players want hit on the forbidden list, and it's because of its versatility. Nadir Servant is an extremely powerful card in the Invoke Shit All deck, but it's also a card that can be splashed in a lot of other decks. We know that Konami isn't a huge fan of strategies being played in multiple decks, but we also do know that Nadir Servant is scheduled for a reprint, and it would be counterproductive to hit a card and then make a reprint unless you curb it. I think that Nadir Servant is going to be on the hot seat mainly because this card can actually be hit on the forbidden list and still be made where it can sell product. The semi-limited list would be perfect for Nadir Servant because it forces decks like Shadal and such to lose consistency from playing this card, while also it allows it to still be a very, very viable card within the upcoming meta. Another highly contested card on the forbidden list is going to be Redeye's Dark Dragoon. Why is it this Yu-Gi-Oh? Nah, I'm just playing with you guys. That is a you problem if you want this card banned. Now, I do have to address the OCG just for a tad bit. Players will use the fact that this card is hit on the OCG banned to say that this card is deserving of a ban in the TCG. That's not the case. You are way more likely to see a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh deck not play Redeye's Dark Dragoon than is. Redeye's Dark Dragoon is a fairly powerful card, but it's starting to seem like a you problem and you can't beat Dragoon and that's why you want it banned. Next is our soul-eating boy. Where will our Overraptor be put on this particular list? I'm gonna have to put it in the unlikely category. Now, a type of limitation on soul eating would completely ruin the Dino strategy. Konami hasn't been out for blood on any particular strategy for 2 years. There are other ways to hit the Dino strategy if they were going to do so without completely destroying the deck. That's moving us up to Magical Meltdown. I feel like this card is actually on the hot seat. Now, the invoked craze where players used to play invoked cards in every single competitive Yu-Gi-Oh deck has died down, but this is a strategy that Konami could be looking for, disrupting the consistency of this deck strictly because it's still an engine, meaning that it could be played in a plethora of other future strategies. As we already know, splashable engines does limit card design, so I really have to say at this point in time that Magical Meltdown would be on the hot seat, potentially another semi-limit. Super Polymerization is definitely a card that is a you problem. It's almost like a, oh no, what are you doing, baby? Seriously, if you want Super Polymerization on the forbidden list in any capacity, you're probably probably Young Boy Striker, or I don't really want to say the G word, but you're acting like a glue eater. Fire Formation Tenki is another card on the OCG Forbidden list. I'm gonna have to put this as extremely unlikely as well. Fire Formation Tenki is a really good card and is great for the Tri-Brigade strategy, but there's almost no reason to hit Fire Formation Tenki. Reason being is while Fire Formation Tenki is a reinforcement of the army, it's actually a lot worse of a reinforcement of the army than reinforcement of the army. This card does actually have a lot of ways to be stopped. Not only can cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring stop it, but Cosmic Cyclone can as well. Now, players feel that Redeye's Dark Dragoon isn't necessarily the problem. It's the easy access to Redeye's Dark Dragoon done through Redeye's Fusion. That's also a you problem, big fella. You can't normal summon or special summon the turn you use this card. It is inconvenient to draw it if you're playing Predaplant Vert Anaconda, that little engine, and you have to play 2 vanilla bricks that you don't want to see. Now, players have figured out crafty ways to attempt to hit Rocket Dragon Link, and one of them is Striker Dragon on the Forbidden list. This is a card that people say, why isn't it banned? And I have to completely disagree with you. I feel that it is an unlikely Yu-Gi-Oh card. We can go back to 2019, the last time that Konami actually made Yu-Gi-Oh strategies unplayable. I don't think that they'll be doing that for Rocket Dragon Link, even if they do address the Rocket Dragon Link strategy. Alistair the Invoker feels like another one of those unlikely problems, mainly because if they hit Magical Meltdown, there's no need to hit Alistair the Invoker. Possibly both of them could be semi-limited for extra measure, but I just don't really see it. I don't think Konami is planning to completely ruin the strategy, but if they are going in a more aggressive approach, probably just limiting how powerful or consistent these strategies are will be the thing that they do. Now, the hit that everyone's been talking about for quite some time, Guard Dragon Pisty joining its brother Guard Dragon Argipane on the Forbidden list, I feel is a very, very hot topic. So we have 2 potential Konamis coming up on the Forbidden list. The Forbidden list that we've been used to, very tame, nothing really gets hit, only problematic cards get addressed. And then there's the I hate everybody Forbidden list. In the scenario where Nadir Servant and Magical Meltdown get hit, I can see in that exact same scenario that Guard Dragon LP gets banned. But in this scenario that doesn't happen, I really wouldn't expect it. Regardless, if these are on the hot seat, then of course LP's on the hot seat. Now, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus is a card that players have really complained about being hit. It is a very, very powerful Yu-Gi-Oh card. I don't think that this card is ban worthy. I just think that it's really unlikely that this card will be hit on the next upcoming list. There are quite a few strategies that can take full advantage of multiple Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. The only problem with that is that none of those strategies are dominantly competitive. To add to that, Phantom Rage is also a set being slated to be reprinted in the 2021 Megatins. I think that it's really unlikely that a card that would be sought after by a ton of players will be hit at this particular time. Quite frankly, I do think that Divine Arsenal AA Zeus is a you problem because there are so many just ways to play around this card. I hate to say that counters exist for a particular Yu-Gi-Oh card, so the card should exist off the list, because you can say that for every card. But the thing about Divine Arsenal AA Zeus is that it's a healthy type of good. I don't know what you guys are necessarily smoking, but dealing with a Divine Arsenal AA Zeus as opposed to a multiple negation board is a lot more, interactive. Winda is 100% a you problem. Get good at the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, guys. This is a card that has been plaguing us since 2014, and it has dodged the Forbidden list just like Dante. Combo players, I know you salty about Winda still existing, but actually having a card that's more healthy than Maxi in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game is, healthy. Artifact Lancey is another one of those cards that is a you problem. I'm talking to you specifically, you Tri-Brigade and Dino players. Just because it's a card that can shut down your uberly powerful deck for a turn if you don't play the game right, doesn't mean that it's a card that should be hit. To be honest, I don't even know why we're here. Why are we talking about Artifact Lancey being a hittable card? Does the OCG really got y'all wanting to hit hand traps? I mean, come on now, guys, you're being weird. Misk is a card that I have to say is on the hot seat. Again, we have to look in a situation that Konami decides to hit the nuke button. If they're gonna hit dinos, they're gonna hit dragons, they're also going to hit Shaddoll and the Nadir. Now, thinking about it, I feel that Guard Dragon LP could possibly be hit without these 3 cards being hit, but if you start to see Shaddoll hits and dragon hits, I mean, Dino, they just gotta get hit too. Mystic Mine has definitely drawn the ire of a lot of players, and seriously, why isn't this card banned? Now, I'm not even gonna cap. This could seriously just be a me problem, and I'm not necessarily, or maybe just an us problem, but why is one of the most uninteractive Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the entire card game not banned? Shockmaster, Calamities, Utopic F-Zero, Mystic Mine? Mystic Mine literally promotes glue-eating burn players to exist. This card needs to go. Cypherm Gear Gamma is another card that is extremely unlikely. Just because it got hit in the OCG doesn't mean that it's going to get hit in the TCG. And TheCaliEffect Anaconda feels like a card that's ironically on the hotter seat. It's really weird to talk about how Redeye's Dark Dragoon, as well as Redeye's Fusion, should not be hit, and then turn around and say Predaplant Vert would be hit, but you have to look at this particular list. In the format where all of the older decks become hit, Yu-Gi-Oh! Becomes a lot more slower paced. Dragoon just actually might be that threat. So before it becomes an our problem, a preemptive hit to Predaplant Vert Anaconda might be on the way if we do see hits to Nadir Servant, Dinos, and also Dragons. The last and final card we are going to talk about is Trident Mommy, and I gotta put it on the oh no, what is you doing, baby? Seriously, Konami, if you go ahead and you ban Trident Mommy, I just might show up at your headquarters and cry, because the headquarters I would show up to doesn't even do Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, that is all that we have for cards that could potentially get banned and their level of getting banned. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now, of course, if you guys want to see an inverse, a tier list on cards that could come off the forbidden list and what would be the probability, go ahead and destroy that like button and let us know down below in the comment section, as well as check as the what am I saying? As well as check out these other videos, as I'll catch you on the next one.